Well, it could look very differently depending on the person, but it could be very mild, or somebody might just become more anxious. And one of the other characteristics of autism would be, for example, repetitive and stereotype behaviors. So it might be repetitive movements such as hand flapping, or moving their fingers, tapping, where maybe you might not see that typically if they were driving, but especially if they were put in a situation where now they're feeling a little bit more stressed, that might be their go-to, almost like a coping mechanism. And so we might see those behaviors. And so, it might be like this, and we might think like, oh, are you in a hurry? Are you trying to tell me to hurry up? They're not trying to signal you anything. I think that would be important to know that for the most part, we're not really going to be getting a lot of nonverbal cues from them. It's going to be what they're going to say that they really mean, and it's going to be very concrete. So just because somebody's doing something, tapping their knee or tapping their hand on their knee, that doesn't mean they're trying to hurry you up. It might be one of those repetitive behaviors that they might be engaging in, and it could progress from there. It might be a crying or a yell. Or sometimes we have repetitive scripting, we call it, and so sometimes they might maybe come up with repeating lines from a movie, or repeating something that they say, and that's just maybe to help them kind of calm down. This is one of the phrases that I like. This is from their favorite movie, and they're going to be repeating that line, and so the officer might approach them and they might say this, and might not even be directing it to them, but they are obviously saying it in their presence. And so that's something that we might hear. And sometimes we don't know, it might be something like, I'll be back, and that's very obviously from the Terminator. Most of us will know that, but sometimes it's scripts that we don't know where they're coming from. We don't really realize that they're scripts. But if they say something that might not really be making sense, it might not have anything to do with the fact that they're on drugs or something like that. It just has to do with the underlying condition that we're dealing with.